Oh, it's a light show. Fancy.
Well, very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Curtin High Network, where we feature live exclusive coverage of high school activities. And tonight the activity is varsity football. And we're being treated to a Spartan light show at South High School. The flags are coming through the tunnel. Man, this is great. What an atmosphere. A beautiful mid-September or early September fall, beginning of fall soon. It's coming soon. It feels like it, though. I guess that's what I'm subconsciously feeling. A little bit of a nice breeze tonight. I'm Vance Palm, and I am joined by our director, Julian Wilson, and our good friend who's been a gadabout traveling the country. We've sure missed him, and he's back. Longtime partner and staple of Kern County football, Rich Cornford. Rich, great to see you. Great to have you back. A lot of storylines here. I talked to Coach Mills for the Spartans down on the field and said hi to him. One of my favorite guys. Absolutely love him. We talked for a few minutes, and he's always very, very self-effacing, cautiously optimistic about things. Never, ever does he take like a real solid, we're going to hammer him stance. But he did say, Vance, tonight's a really, really good matchup for us to kind of see where we are here in our third week.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge matchup. We're going to see some big boys going after each other. Both sides have some monsters up front, and I think that's really going to determine the outcome of this game.
The Spartans are hosting, and in 28 years of doing this, I've never called a Greyhounds game. The Greyhounds of Atascadero from the Central Coast, however, you, my friend, know them pretty well.
Unfortunately, I've been on the wrong end of a couple. Them and Lompoc High are the two dominant teams over the last 50 years on the Central Coast. In my senior year, they won the CIF championship and quarterbacked by a guy named Darren Brebs, who ended up being a good friend of mine. But they beat us 21-14.
I know you had a chance to talk to head coach Dan Loney of the Greyhounds, and more on that in a little bit. But we're underway. We're right on time. The Kern High Network starting at 7:30. A short little pitching wedge taken at the 30-yard line. Going to be pretty nice field position for the Greyhounds. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Greyhounds' 46-yard line. So a nice start here for Atascadero.
And Atascadero is going to look to pound the football. A lot of power and counter, what you'd call a gap scheme. Tackles Max Rodriguez and Danny Gonzalez are both about 6'2", 315 pounds. Also on that O-line, David Sandoval, who's a sophomore at 255. And then Alize Mota and Rylan King, both 275-pounders. So a lot of beef up there for Atascadero and a team that wants to run the ball.
So Mike Trejo, jersey number 3, he's a junior. He is the QB, stands in the shotgun with all that talk about running. That's exactly what they do. They put it on the ground. Oh, and a big tackle there. Had it not been for the tackle of Beto De Jarro, could have been more. And remember that name, Beto De Jarro, that's the guy that made the tackle. Also, that's their quarterback. So he's going to go both ways, and he's going to see a ton of football time tonight.
I think, the Greyhounds, number 3, Mike Trejo, right?
Yep, that's a QB.
Yeah, and he's a smaller guy, a wrestler, though, so a real competitor.
This time, Damon Mitchell, and just plows ahead for about a 12-yard gain, and it's Mitchell with a big first down.
And like you were mentioning, South High does have quite a few guys going both ways, so conditioning is going to be a vital part of this game. So
2 plays and a ton of yards already gathered up by the Greyhounds. Had to go through all my notes for all my years to realize I have not called a Greyhounds game. Not till tonight anyway. Mitchell again. Oh, what a nice move. A stiff arm. Takes a big hit, and he's thrown down. He's gang tackle, which is good to see for the South pursuit. But, boy, he's getting some solid yardage before he gets touched.
And Damon Mitchell comes in averaging 6.8 yards a carry. So they've been moving the ball well when he gets it. He's a 6'2", 175-pound senior.
2nd and about 6. We're just underway. Welcome. I'm Vance Palm with Rich Cornford and Julian Wilson. And one of our longtime media buddies, Octavio's up here for Hometown Sports, giving Greg Kerr all the footage he's going to need tonight. 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. They don't see any reason not to. And he just plants that left foot, cuts upfield, and So DeHaro with the hit, so the quarterback's already made 3 tackles.
You start to get a little worried when your quarterback is going to be your leading tackler here. Beto is a tough kid, though. First year playing quarterback, had never played quarterback before in his life, but Kerry Mills is switching him over there. But, a lot of times you just put your best athlete there, and that's what South High has done this year. And you can see already defensively he's made an impact in the game.
Well, the coach was concerned about the wear and tear, no doubt about it. He mentioned it to me directly. 3rd and 3, hard count, nobody jumped. Great discipline there. Mitchell breaks out, and he's going to pick up the first down. So this young man, Damon Mitchell, the senior, 6'2", 180-pounder, is doing all the heavy lifting so far.
And he's doing a good job of being patient behind that big offensive line. South High's got a couple big boys up front there. Number 75, Davion Jenkins, 6'2", 301, and then 74, Mike Butterberg, 6'3", 330.
1st and 10. They stay on the ground. Mitchell right up the middle. Ball's on the ground, and it's picked up by the big fella. Wow, how about this? Danny Gonzalez scoops it up. For a moment, he thought he was going to take off and be Eric Dickerson. It didn't happen. They got him, but oh, my gosh, a big hit in the middle of the football field, and that was Emiliano Gallegos. Gallegos popped him, and the ball popped out. Man, that would have been a big-time turnover.
And that's a big-time play for South High to finally stop a little bit of the momentum of the Greyhounds.
Again, it's Mitchell back with Trejo. Mitchell, patient as patient can be, just takes his time and kind of strolls out to the left side and waits till he sees something. Then he just dives in there, and it's been successful so far. Okay, 3rd and 4. And if you take a look at Coach Loney's approach so far, I would think this is 2-down territory, Coach.
Well, the way they've been pounding the rock, I would think so too. I'm not real certain what kind of kicking game they have, but they're in a great spot to use all 4 downs.
Colton Megason is in the slot. It's a keeper this time. Trejo keeps it. Can he break a couple of tackles? He can. So that's a nice play, and it's something that the Spartans are going to have to keep track of, because little misdirection play there. They, for a moment, faked it to Colton Megason, and then up the middle Trejo goes. So 1st and 10, and it's going to be 1st and goal. It's basically at the 10.
Yeah, and again, everything going to plan for Atascadero right now. This is a program that, I've heard their kids described as they eat nails there in Atascadero growing up, and loves their football.
So, wow, what a hit. So, I don't have a 66, but I heard
Travis Roberson.
Yeah, I heard Joey below say Travis via Roberson, so we're going to go with that. Big guy up front, good tackle.
Yeah, South has got some beef up front. They all go both ways, so you get concerned when your linemen do that.
2nd and goal. They're going to keep doing it. Mitchell, big hit, plows forward,
wow.
And that's a touchdown. What an effort by Damon Mitchell. Touchdown, and the Greyhounds on the board first.
Yeah, you nailed it. Great extra effort there. And again, hats off to that Atascadero line. We talked about how big they are. Coach Loney was talking about how they are the key to them winning this game, and he was going to put the weight of the world on their shoulders, and they seem up to the task.
So Mitchell with a touchdown at the 6:21 mark. And we're going to check out their kicker right now. The holder is Caleb Cooper. High snap, brought down, and it's right through the middle. So a nice kick over there by Tyson Tenhafe. Well, Coach, no shocker there. Coach Loney told you and I that they're going to try to really work the ground game. It's what they've been thinking about. It's what they've been working on, and they did it.
And Coach Loney, he was a lineman himself, played at Atascadero High under legendary Coach Walsh, who won over 200 football games there, one of the best coaches in California. He went on to play at Cal Poly and then played for the San Jose SaberCats afterwards. And, he's a guy that still looks like he could play a little ball.
He almost broke my hand when he shook my hand. Hi, Coach, how you doing? Can I get a quick? Ow, ow.
But heck of a nice guy. Really appreciate his generosity with his time.
Now we'll get to see the Spartans. They trail by a touchdown early on.
Mitchell to kick off.
Could be a nice bounce, and it is. Taken at the 18-yard line. Michael Wilson Jr. Wilson looking for some room. Wilson, and he does it. Brings it up to the 40-yard line. So the Spartans will start off. A nice field position there. Boy, that couldn't have been a more friendly bounce on the kickoff.
Yeah, and they did a good job of maintaining their blocks, and he did a good job of getting downfield and attacking. And good start here for South High. And again, you see a lot of the same numbers, 74, 75, 66 there up front for the South High Rebels. These guys are going to, like we talked about Atascadero, the key to them is their O-line. How do these guys hold up against the Greyhounds?
Michael Butterbaugh was one of our guests on our In the Huddle Media Day, first ever Media Day. Quick little fire out here, and it's to Wilson. Wilson makes one tackle, two tackles, hang on to that football, takes a big hit, still in bounds, doesn't want to go down or go out. And Michael Wilson Jr.
Boy, you love that effort, don't you?
Saying, hey, I'm not going down.
He's their leading wide receiver. He's their top defensive back, really their best skill player, and we've already seen him. Coach Mills made sure he got the ball first play of the game. Had a punt return touchdown earlier this year, so keep your eye out for number 4. And he's the team captain.
DeHaro, good first pass, a junior, and you mentioned it, and Coach talked to us about it. Not a quarterback, but an absolute gamer on both sides of the football.
And he will run the ball a lot, too, from the quarterback spot.
They want to test the line. We have our first flag of the evening. I'll get you our officials' names a little bit later on this evening.
Usually when it's the umpire, it's going to be a holding call. Oh, personal foul.
Face mask against the Greyhounds. Huh. You know, more on Kerry Mills, the head coach. He's the longest tenured head coach. And,
wow.
And we have him on the show for Media Day, and our man Trevor Horn was having fun with him about that. And he's just so sheepish, and he just kind of sloughs it off. And if you know that, well, I'm speaking to the choir here, but for those that don't know the life of a high school football coach, it's a major, major, major commitment. You can speak to it well, much better than I can, but yeah, I know when Trevor brought it up, he's the longest tenure, you can see his wheels spinning like, yeah, what's wrong with me? What am I doing here? However, he just loves the kids and love what he does here. Oh. Another face mask, so 2 in a row. That was a big one.
Yeah, and South High got a good push up front there.
Sure did.
So it's a matter of which defense is going to be able to step up here, and these penalties adding on to things. But speaking of Coach Mills, how many years is it now for him? Do you remember?
Trevor sent all my notes to me, so I'm going to go searching for my notes in a minute because he sent them over to me, and that was one that he did. After we finish the huddle, I lean on Trevor and say, hey, dude, send me everything you've got. And he does. So
he took over for John Wren, who I played against him in high school here my senior year as well. It was the worst loss of my life. South High Rebels got us, but they had guys like John Wren, Chris Dutton, Vic Pierce, Fabworthy, Chris Oliver.
13th season as head coach. Took over after the tragic passing of Coach Wren. 1st and 10, they stay on the ground with it. And again, that huge hole by the offensive line. I mean, you've got some big old guys of Davion Jenkins, Michael Butterbaugh, Travis Villa-Roberson. There's some big dudes up there, Coach. So it's not taking them very long either, is it?
No, it isn't. They're going right at the heart of that Atascadero defense.
So if you're Coach Loney, you're like, man, I was so stoked about our drive, but goodness, fellas, this is impressive. DeHaro in the shotgun, triples out here to the left side. Why change it up? Why change anything up? He gets hit hard. This time they clog up the middle, so it'll be 2nd and goal.
They can still get a first down, actually. If they get to about the 1.5 yard line.
You're right, 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4 officially. Now they move it up to a 3rd and inches, or 3rd and 1. You're right, Coach. So an exciting start, fun start.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see Beto keep the ball here himself.
You're right. He's got Brandon Burrell, who's another stud for these Spartans, on his left hip. Will they go to Brandon? They do. Can Brandon? Oh, goodness.
Oh, wow.
Untouched. So the Spartans answer just like that. We've got ourselves a ball game here in the first quarter.
Yeah, very impressed with both sides' offensive lines. You know, the one concern I have for the Spartans is that all their guys are going both ways, and I don't think Atascadero has as many two-way guys. But, boy, both sides running the ball extremely effectively.
South High Spartan Marching Band, as good as it gets. Great sound, great tone, always. Okay, here is Isaac Sandoval. Low snap, it's bobble. Sandoval's got to do something with it. Can he get out of it? Cannot. So a PAT unsuccessful. A low snap, and the quarterback, DeHaro, tried to handle it, tried to do something with it. So that's a little bit of a early storyline.
Tony Kreider there with the good hustle play to tackle him behind the line of scrimmage. And, boy, in a close, even, tight game, you know special teams are going to be a factor. And right now, Atascadero's special teams look quite a bit better than South High's.
Well, Coach, last week while you were away, we had that big Frontier football game against Clovis, and it turned out to be a one-point game. And it was a botched PAT that made the difference. So you're right, and especially here in the early goings of a season when it's a little more prevalent. You see these kind of things happen a little more often in the first and second week and third week than you do in the 11th week.
Yeah, and you hate to have to chase those points early on as a coach.
Be that as it may, 6 kicking into 7. Just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, and by the looks of it, this is going to be a battle all night long. And that is not a pitching wedge. That is a long bomb off the tee box. Gone. And Brian Leyba looked over at the coaching staff. I don't know if he was supposed to kick it that far. He went like this. He goes, "Hey, I got a leg. I
think he took my point about the South High special team struggling to heart there, and so I'll prove that guy wrong.
So the Atascadero Greyhounds had a really impressive first drive. The legs of Damon Mitchell did all the damage, most of it, that's for sure. But then the Spartans came marching right back, and South High, in a matter of a couple minutes, just plowed through. But big number 74, Butterball, big number 75, Jenkins, they're back out on the field, as Coach has alluded to. 1st and 10, Greyhounds. This time it's going to be a keeper by Trejo. Trejo stalls, waits, gets hammered, but still plows ahead for 5 yards. He took a big pop.
Well, they were in a heavy left formation over there, and he just very patiently stayed behind that big offensive line, and it looked like it was going to be maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain, but those guys kept pushing up front, and he kept following them. Big 6 yard gain, which is about the MO that they had last drive.
A couple of receivers down here in the bottom left side of your screen. They're way down there, maybe out of your screen. Jacob Perry, number 15, and Zachary Radican. Almost had him in the backfield, but still a nice stop there. They almost had him for a big, big stop, and frankly, very close to a face mask.
Yeah, that was close. Big stop there. I think they only gained maybe a yard on that play, so 3rd and 3 here. If Atascadero does choose to throw the ball, that Jacob Perry, the junior wide receiver, number 15 that we saw at the bottom of the screen here, he's their top target. 6'3", 170-pound guy that can really run. Comes in with 88 yards receiving, but he had a couple big catches called back earlier. So he's their primary target when they do throw the ball.
Triples out to the left, the top side of your screen there. They stay on the ground. No, they don't. A great play action. And it's caught out there by Tyson Tenhoff. Still on the ground. No whistles blow. What a battle. Well, that was a great, great ball fake. Fooled me.
Yeah, a great call there. That RPO where he's reading that backside inside backer, when he flows with the run, it opens up that slant route right there. So very well executed play there on 3rd and 3 for the Greyhounds.
And a couple of those Spartan defenders jumped on the running back, thought he had it as well. And here comes Radican and Perry here in the very bottom of your screen. I don't know if Julian can get him. 1st and 10, under 2 minutes to go. Trejo. Again, this time he wants to keep it. Trejo with his nifty moves. Can he get to the outside? He does. And, man, a 7-yard gain just like that. So the legs of the quarterback, Mike Trejo, the junior, just as dangerous as anybody out there.
Yeah, you talk about a wrestler playing quarterback. You think of Vanderbilt's Diego Pavia. Tough kid that led that upset over Alabama last year. But, wrestlers are a different breed. And, their mentality, boy, if you got one with that mentality at quarterback, that's usually a good sign regardless of how big they are.
Coach, 5'8", 148. 5'8", 148. And as focused as they are on cutting weight, he'll probably be 143 by the end of the evening. 2nd and 3, whistles blow, and I think it's going to be a timeout by the Greyhounds, and it is. We'll stay here because we're close to the quarter break. Coach, you've been traveling. Tell us about your travels and what's been happening, buddy. We missed you.
Been going back and forth to Waco, Texas.
Okay.
Watched the Baylor-Auburn game to open things up, and then actually this last week went to Houston for my in-laws' 60th wedding anniversary.
I saw that.
So big news. I think we can all learn from that generation of the dedication. So it was a lot of fun to be there, and then watch the Baylor-SMU game on TV and saw Baylor beat the set number 17 Mustangs.
Tell us about Baylor. Your thoughts on the squad this year?
Boy, Sawyer Robinson, our quarterback, has thrown for over 400 yards in both of those games against pretty good competition. He's in the Heisman hunt right now. We've had a Heisman Trophy winner there before. I think Dave Aranda's doing great things with that program. We have Samford this week, but then Arizona State comes to Waco next week, so that'll be a real test.
Good to have you back. 1:39 remaining in this first quarter. The score is 7-6. The team on the left side of your screen, the Atascadero Greyhounds, they're 1-1 this season, much to the chagrin of head coach Dan Loney. But he's got a triple set down here at the very bottom. It's going to be a keeper by Trejo. Trejo patiently gets his spot and picks up a first down. So the Greyhounds are doing just as efficient of a job of gobbling up yards as the Spartans did. So we're going to see some nice ground stats tonight.
In a game like this, you love the consistency, and you just pray for good ball control. We saw what happened to the Baltimore Ravens last weekend when they were running the ball all over the Bills, and then they fumbled and turned the game around.
1st and 10, a minute left in the first. They go back to Mitchell, and Mitchell is finally brought down after a gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1 at the 31-yard line.
So Mitchell is a good runner. He's got good vision. He attacks the hole. I worry a little bit about his ball security. Ball was a little loose and hanging out there. You want that thing high and tight with 3 points of pressure at all times, and he has a tendency to do a little bit of a swim move with the football in his hand, and that can be dangerous. We've seen him drop it once already tonight.
A keeper. Oh, what a move. Got up in the air for a minute, picked up the first down. What a tough young man Trejo is. A big first down, and he's we've got a Spartan that's down here for the moment, and oh no, that is Beto De Haro, the quarterback, DB. Oh no.
Beto's been making a ton of tackles tonight. And again, we talked about it, we alluded to it, that you worry about that with your quarterback playing defense. Hopefully it's just a cramp.
The junior, Beto De Haro. And by the looks of it, we'll see. They're moving his legs around there. Hopefully everything's going to be okay, and they're going to help him up to some applause, I'm sure, here by our Spartan crowd down here. Yep. And with 38 seconds here in this first quarter, maybe they bring him off, or?
Yeah, he'll have to come off for a play.
Yep. So they come in with a bigger package. They bring in one of their big fellas off for another big fella, and De Haro's going to have to come off as well.
So Atascadero beat North High 22-20 to open the season for them. They had a bye the first week of the season, actually, so they've only played the 2 games. South has played 3. They're 1-2.
High snap. There's the handoff. Oh, the big running back takes a hit and just rolls into the end zone. Mitchell, second TD in the quarter, and it's 13-7.
Speaking of SMU earlier, he reminds me a little bit of Eric Dickerson there. Taller running back. He's 6'2", lean, fast. That's a pretty good comparison.
So 2 touchdowns for jersey 24. And if South comes back and does what they did last time, we may have a high-scoring affair here.
Yeah, both offenses, their run games are clicking.
Tinhoff for the important now, PAT. It's up and good.
PAT is good.
14-6.
18 seconds remain in the first quarter. Score is Atascadero Greyhounds.
This offense for Atascadero, they haven't had to throw the ball yet, but their running game, they've got enough misdirection. Oh, they did throw the ball once on the good slant play. Yeah. But they run the ball with diversity, with the different gap schemes and a little RPO action here or there. And, very, very impressed with their execution tonight.
So I'm looking down at DeHaro, their QB that had to come off the field after an injury on that one play, and they scored. They scored the very next play. We'll see what he's all about here. The doctor's over there actually talking to him. Hey, Rich, I want to compliment the South High School maintenance crew. Look at that logo in the front of the field, in the middle of the field. Man, that is beautiful. Uh-oh, trouble. Bobbled. And forward progress at about the 21-yard line. Hey, Julian, we're going to quarter break, but right before the quarter break, can you show that logo right there? Look at this logo, everybody. This is big time. That's covering, what, 20-something yards both ways? Phenomenal. We'll thank the Spartan administration here soon, but I just want to point that out. That's beautiful.
Yeah, the grounds crew has done a great job with the entire field. And, the stadium, since it's been refurbished, is really top-notch as well.
4 seconds left in the quarter. We'll take a break after this play, possibly. DeHaro back in, which is a good sign. Spreading things out, much different look than the Greyhound offense. They go on the ground with it. Oh, it's a nice play. Good 4 or 5 yard gain there, and that will do it for the first quarter. It's 14-6. The Greyhounds of Atascadero over the Spartans of South. Hope you're enjoying this coverage on the Kern High Network. We'll be back with the second quarter.
So, my rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Oh, is it?
Blame the economy. So, my rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Oh, is it?
Blame the economy.
Great to have you with us tonight. As we came on the air, I tried to describe this as an autumn football game, but we're not there yet. Getting close, but Boy, it's a nice night tonight. Late summer, how's that? Second quarter, 1st and 10. Second and 5, Spartans. Again, they go on the ground behind their big guys, and that's a good 4-yard run. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, that was Rodney Williams, the sophomore.
Oh, they gave him the first, Coach. Who was that?
Rodney Williams, sophomore, 5'5", 140. So not a big guy, but he's been getting some yardage for the, almost called them the Rebels, for the Spartans.
Oh, Julian, we almost had our first dollar. We almost had our first dollar in the kitty. Oh, Coach.
Back in my West High days, we had some battles with these guys.
Oh, yeah. I was dunked on many times in that gym. A nice job of running there by Williams again, the sophomore, as you mentioned. So both coaches have a nice well to draw from on the running game for sure.
Yeah, and again, looking at these schemes, they're complementing. When you got a big offensive line, you don't need to get real fancy a lot of times. You don't have to go side to side. You don't have to throw the ball 50 million times. Just go right at the opponent.
It was great media day. We had Coach Mills, we had Davion Jenkins, and Michael Butterball as our guests. You talk about having to pull the camera out. They had to widen that thing up. That was special. They stay on the ground as well. And again, it's Rodney Williams with a hard hit, and on a 2nd and 5, boy, he got awfully closer. They're going to move the chains again, Coach. This is fun to watch. It's fun to watch on both sides because both offensive lines are just getting off. A little bit of different physique difference, but it doesn't matter. Both teams doing a great job.
Well, as an offensive lineman, that's what you want. O-linemen want to run the ball every single play, because they love the physical domination part of this game.
Ironically, the first play of the game for the Spartans was a nice pass over here to the near side. Oh, good-looking play here. Good-looking play here. And a great run there by Brandon Burrell. Man, oh, man. Stayed patient, waited for his line to keep pushing, had a receiver downfield doing his job. And Burrell with a 20-yard gain.
Damon Mitchell there on the tackle. But a really good game, and we see a good 1-2 punch here by the Spartans.
I was talking to Coach Dan Loney for the Greyhounds before the football game, before you came over, and I said, what's keeping you up at night? Like, what'd you think about last night? He goes, number 8. So there's a snippet of what Coach Loney was concerned about, Brandon Burrell, the senior. 1st and 10. They go right back to him. He's hungry. Feed him. Gets his jersey grabbed on there for a moment as Patrick Morrissey is trying to hang on to his jersey. That's tough to do with Burrell.
And the Spartans are consistently running behind Jenkins and Butterbaugh each of the last 3 plays. And good things have happened when they've done that.
Spoke to both of those young men on media day, and they both have aspirations of playing on the weekend, of course. But both humble, understanding it takes a lot of work to get there, and they're willing to do it. We're going to dip below 10 minutes left here in the half in about 3 seconds. 2nd and 5. Look at this great running. Can he get there? Wow. Finally, it was Mitchell that had to stop the touchdown run of Rodney Williams. Flag on the play, though. There's going to be a holding on the Spartans.
Well, that's a big call right there.
Huge call.
Obviously, it brings back a good run, but this will be the first time the Spartans have been in a long yardage situation, what we would call behind the chains. They're going to be at 2nd and 15 here. Likely depending on exactly where the spot of that foul took place. Yeah, it looks like it'll be 2nd and 15.
Top-notch officiating crew, the white hat, Joe Saldivar, umpire Eric Smith, the head linesman is Enrique Serrano, the line judge, the legendary Darryl Thomas, the back judge, Rick Serrano, and in the box, Jesse Ramirez. As good as it gets for the Kern County Officials Association, and I'll be back in the 3rd quarter to talk about you guys getting involved with the KCOA. To your point, Coach, 2nd and 15. First long challenge forced upon the Spartans. And having said that, guess what? a timeout, but I don't see them insinuating whose it is. Was it an official's timeout?
I think it was an official's timeout.
Okay.
And being 2nd and 15, as well as you run the ball, you don't have to throw it here.
Great. You know what? As always, you read my mind. Why think you have to go to the air when you're chopping up 8 and 9 yards a carry? But having said that, they do. But this young man can run as well. We talked about his legs, and a big, big run up to the 30-yard line. He gets it right back, so it'll be 3rd and 5. So smart play, leave it in the quarterback's hands. If he sees something, he finds it, go ahead and toss it. If not, out of here.
Yeah, and a mobile quarterback like that is difficult to pass rush. You've got to just be really lane conscious, and when you're lane conscious, you can't just put your ears back and go. So nice work there by the Spartan quarterback, Beto DeHaro, to put him back in front of the chains, but still a 3rd and 6.
Not sure why the clock stopped, and the white hat is telling him, wind it, let's go, let's go. It stopped for a good 7 or 8 seconds. And can they pick up the first down? It's going to be tough. And he just runs out of real estate. And did he get it?
He did, yeah.
Oh, just went out of bounds. I mean, maybe a foot past the marker. So first down. Speaking of those officials, they were right on top of it.
So right now, South High is pounding the ball to their right, the Greyhounds left. If I'm the Greyhounds, I think I start slanting that way or bringing a corner blitz or something off the edge, because you got to do something to change the pace of this game.
That's a great point, Coach. Great point. They're going hard right all the time. Great point. That's why we had to fly you back on our private jet to get you back over here. We had to, that's how you got back here, right?
I did fly first class for the first time.
Whoa.
It was on accident because I was 6 hours delayed out of Houston. It's the only seat they had left.
They said, do you know a guy by the name of, and you said, yes, take it. Okay. Fake the handoff, hung on to it. I don't even know if that was the play design. I don't know if he and the running back, Williams, didn't have the communication. Yeah, now I look at both of them, and they're talking to their coaches. Like, that wasn't how it was supposed to be, but he still picked up a couple of yards.
Well, that's a heady play by the quarterback, too, that he didn't panic and just fall apart there, that he at least picked up a couple positive yards. For a kid who's never played quarterback today, been pretty impressed with him.
His right foot went out of bounds, so the clock has stopped. And now, stronger left side as far as receivers, but still usual suspects on the right side there. Oh, what a great play. A great play. Great ball fake. And this strong young man right here still on his feet and finally goes down after a strong run by Beto DeHaro, and he's pumped up. He took a couple of big hits and kept going. Boy, that'll pump you up. You know, you don't get knocked down. He said, I got you. I can take what you're given. I can take what you're given.
He's a tough kid. We've seen him defensively come up with tackle after tackle, and offensively he's putting the weight on his shoulders right now.
Coach Mills and his staff begin to think possibly about a two-point conversion. It's 3rd and 1.
I bet they run to the right.
Got to get this first. For what it's worth, Michael Wilson Jr. way out to the top of your screen, upper left. Oh, dangerous of all things. The one thing they couldn't do is that, and that's mishandle the football. Goodness. Oh, boy.
Yeah, big break for the Atascadero Greyhounds there. Now they've got to make their own break here on 4th and about 2.5 or 3.
And, Coach, it looked like DeHaro was taking it himself, and he just took off a little too early because Williams took off to the right. There was no handoff. So now, of course, it's going to be a timeout taken by the Spartans. We'll take it with you, and we'll be back on the Kern High Network right after this short break.
Hey, Dad! Is my weekly allowance up for a negotiation?
No, not really.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll talk about this later.
Our director, Dr. J, Julian Wilson, pointed at me. Didn't say a word, just pointed at me. That's my cue.
Lyle.
Okay, 4th and a long 3 after the dropped snap on a 3rd and 1. Big play here, big play. Burrell, they ate it up. They swallowed it up and got him. And they went to Burrell, and that's a big stop now with the Greyhounds doing what they're doing on the ground. That was a big stop. A little surprise there. A little surprise. There was not a lot of misdirection in that play.
Well, Damon Mitchell came off that left edge and sliced in hard and made that tackle for loss. So he's been a star player both sides of the ball tonight.
So that could be a turning point with 8.5 left here in the half. A big stop by that Greyhound defense, and now you've got to put the onus on that Spartan defense. Can you keep this potent offense of the Greyhounds out of the end zone for 8.5 minutes? I don't know.
And the studs up front for South High going both ways this entire time. We've got to be a little fatigued.
Trejo to Mitchell. Mitchell gets out, stiff arms one. Mitchell looking to get downfield, gets knocked out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. So they move the chains on the first snap of this drive.
Yeah, great gain on first down going to Mitchell. I mean, he's been the guy tonight. And again, nothing fancy, but really good execution up front there by the Greyhounds. They've been punching inside a lot. They went outside there.
So they get to the line quickly. Trejo keeps it, finds a gap, exactly what he was looking for, and he's out of here. Trejo drugged to the ground by Daharo, or it was a touchdown.
Again, we talk about the balance here, and most people think between, to be balanced, you have to throw the ball. Well, balance can be having two capable guys running the ball and, being able to threaten everywhere on the field. And the Greyhounds are being able to do that right now. And it does make it difficult for the Spartans to know who to key on there.
1st and 10, under 8 minutes to go. Looks like South wants to bring them. They do. Nice job there. Smart play. You saw them coming in, and they had to make a stop sooner or later.
Yeah, you're going to have to be taking some chances if you're the South High Rebels, or you're going to suffer a slow death. So good job there, tackling 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, bringing up 2nd and 12. Now you got to repeat with another great play and another great call here.
Second and 12. Mitchell's on the right hip of Trejo. Both dangerous in their own right. And you've got Megason leading the block. Flags fly here, and this may be, and it is on Atascadero, so it'll bring them back another 5 yards. That helps, at least, if you're a Spartan fan.
Yeah, the Rebels have to take advantage of this to stay in this game in the first half. Plenty of time left in the half if they can get a stop to grind the ball back at the Greyhounds.
And let's not forget, they forced a fumble in the first drive, but it bounced into the hands of the big fella, Danny Gonzalez, a Greyhound.
2nd and 16 for the Greyhounds.
He'd like to think he is a Greyhound, too. Man, he took one step for the end zone, and that's about all he got. 2nd and 16. Whistles blow.
Whistle.
And it looks as though Jacob Perry's got to fix his socks, knee pads. Something's not right.
Well, that's a big play because he's their top receiver. If, on a passing down here, taking him out might change the play call a little bit.
Only a coach would ever pick that up that quickly. 2nd and long. Trejo throws out here to his main man, so Mitchell's going to do some damage after the short pass. Stone! They went to shove him, and all they did was shove him towards the end zone. Touchdown, Greyhounds.
Good response there. Pretty easy throw, and let your stud back do the rest. Great job breaking tackles. Good job up front, and I do think South High might be a little tired.
So the 3rd touchdown of the half for Damon Mitchell. And the last attempt of a tackle was a shove in the back, and actually gave him some extra juice to get to the end zone. And Tenhoff. To make it a perfect 21. It's up and it's through. So 21-6, and the stop on a 4th and short down here in this south side of the field may prove to be the floodgates that the Greyhounds are going to need based on what Coach Cornford and I are talking about with these big bodies of the Spartans going both ways. Boy, there's just only so much you can do on both sides of the football in the trenches for 48 minutes.
Well, you hope that your big fellas can recover up front. You got 6:22 to here go. I would not panic if I were them. I would keep the same type of offense where I'm grinding the football. You get the ball first in the second half. So a lot of good things can happen if you just hang on to the football.
That's a good point. So let's see if the Spartans can get good field position. They've done it on both of the other kicks. Here's the third one. And Coach made a great point. They'll get the football back as well to start the third quarter. It's a sideways spinner taken at the 5-yard line. Can they get outside? He does for a minute. Stiff arm and brought down. Nice job. Good tackle. Good play over there by Colby Cooper. Nice job.
Yeah, he did a great job of keeping contained there, keeping them bottled in. So
Yeah, Coach, I couldn't agree with you more. Let's just do what we've been doing. That's our comfort zone. We've been successful. Okay, we didn't score that second time, but also we don't give them the football back.
Right.
Let's just hang on to this football the rest of the half.
I mean, I would guess that they're averaging 7 to 8 yards a carry here on the ground. Both backs have looked good. Quarterbacks look good when he's kept the ball. It's just a matter of being clean with your execution there with the exchanges.
Okay, DeHaro hands the ball off to Williams. Williams, boy, he's hard to bring down.
Yeah, for a 140-pounder, kind of reminds you of a high school version of Darren Sproles. We're just watching Davion Jenkins, number 75. He's fatigued right now.
I'm laughing more because I caught what you caught. We're 6 minutes and 8 seconds to go here in the half, and after that play, he was forced to the ground because he made a good block, actually, to free him up. But, boy, getting up, he's got his hands on his hips, so we'll see.
Well, he wasn't getting in the three-point stance defensively. And when you're to play both ways as a lineman is tough. To do it as a 330-pounder has got to be ridiculously tough.
Now
wow, what a block.
Oh, wow. You and I were both watching to see how he would respond, and he absolutely buried Garrett Aldridge into the grass. So we were speaking of Davion Jenkins, the young man that was a little fatigued getting up. He got into his three-point stance and just crushed a couple of Greyhounds. So
that literally gave me chills to watch that because he's tired. But when it's time to go, when the ball is snapped, he's given every ounce of energy he's got.
If you're watching closely, the young man right here, right tackle, 2 over from the football, and he's got his teammate, Khalil Banner, right on his hip. Another dropped errant snap, and I think both times, unfortunately, I think both times it's been the QB. He's just taking his eye off the ball for a millisecond.
Yeah, that one came in a little high and hot, but you got to have it. It's taking care of the football is the single most important thing you can do as a quarterback or even as any offensive football player because you can't score without it. Now they're in a really rough situation at 3rd and
18.
Yeah, that's a long way to go, and this is a situation where if you're averaging 7 or 8 yards running the ball, it ain't enough.
It's one of the things we talked about. You don't want to give them the football back. If nothing else, let's grind out some first downs and just kill this clock. But that's not what's happening here. 5.5 left here.
I'd slide a safety over to number 4 side, Michael Wilson, because he's their top receiver in the long yardage situation. You got to think that's probably where they're going.
He's got some time, a lot of time actually. Ooh. And what a catch! What a catch! What a throw! You got to be kidding me. Kern County, how about this? Michael Wilson Jr., Touchdown, South High Spartans. Wow, Coach. He had the time. The offensive line gave him a great pocket. Threw it in traffic, and what a snag by Michael Wilson Jr. Took a hit and said, I'm out of here.
What a burst, yeah. And, you know, they had a wheel concept there where the inside receiver was running the fade. They actually had him open, too. But I think the quarterback's comfort's with Wilson, and you see why.
That was beautiful.
I think I called that one, too, didn't I?
Coach, you did. I don't want to say it, but you did. But what's new, bro? You've been doing that for a long time for us. 5:05 left here in the half. And new life in this Spartan sideline. It is exactly what the doctor ordered. An absolute bullet right across the field, caught by Michael Wilson Jr. in stride, never broke stride. Matter of fact, had to lunge out just a hair to get it, and the speed kicks in then. And here we go. They're going to go for 2 here as DeHaro has 3 Spartans right in front of him. Can they get in from there? I don't think so. Wow, another great play. Elise Mota. Mota comes in and just shuts everybody down.
Well, they had a good push at the point of attack, but this is the second time we've seen Atascadero come off the edge outside and blow up a play.
The edge didn't get it, and so it's a 9-point ball game instead of a 7-point ball game. Both times on those 2-point PAT, on that 2-point PAT there, they just couldn't get it done. So, good sign for the Spartans. They struck, they bounced back, and now they're going to have to dig deep and keep this super talented offense of Atascadero out of the end zone in 5 minutes and 5 seconds. No easy task. Maybe I'd like to see like a 4-iron, not going to the end zone, but just like a 4-iron over in the corner over there and make this young man, Tyson Tanoff, go get it and give these speedy Spartans a chance. Let's see what happens here. Leiva's got a big leg. And is it? Oh, just look at that. That's pretty cool. Just went over the line. So he tried.
Yeah, nice kick again by Leiva where we see him put the ball in the end zone. Don't give him a chance to return it.
That thing almost stayed in.
I've seen that happen before. And
you think it's, as a return man, you're like, oh, that's bad, that's deep, and then it just stops right before the line and stays in.
That ball has a funny shape, and it does crazy things sometimes.
Okay, what's not crazy is for anybody that's been watching this since the kickoff to assume the Greyhounds are going to go 80 yards and punch this thing in. Spartans are going to have to stop them.
Spartans are giving Davion Jenkins, number 75, a break right now.
I thought they might, Coach. I thought they might. You're going against a run-heavy offense. They're not throwing the ball hardly at all, so you know they're coming at you. So you put a big body up there. Might not be as big and weighty and strong as Jenkins, but you give 75 a chance to catch them there.
Yeah, and you think, okay, if they pick up a couple first downs, we'll put him back in. He ought to be recovered by then to finish the half.
He's up. He's off his knee. And he loves the game, so he's going to tell the coach, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. A true Spartan.
Okay, Trejo in the shotgun. Spartans might be coming. High snap. Trejo throws over to the right. That's a nice pass. Nice play. Big hit, middle of the field. But it's a first down. A good hit by who else? Beto DeHaro.
Really good call there by the Greyhounds with both backers blitzing inside but still playing zone behind it. He's able to get an easy completion out there to that hook zone because there was nobody covering it.
The biggest hit of the night so far for the Spartans. Who is it? Their quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Big hit. They move the chains. 4 minutes left here in the half. Very important defensive possession here for the Spartans. They go with Mitchell. Mitchell plows ahead. He's already got 3 touchdowns in the first half.
You know, and one thing, they're running that heavy right formation, so it's an unbalanced set. They got the tight end and then 3 receivers all on that right side. And South still has a corner hanging out here at the bottom of the screen, 8 yards wider than anybody else on a side that they're not going to throw or run to. If I was the Spartans, I think I would shift everybody around a little bit versus that particular set. Now this time, Atascadero has a receiver out here, so he's got a job to do.
Well, and if you're Coach Loney, you definitely want to get in the end zone again, so you might want to actually hurry the things up.
There he goes, motion. Now it's that heavy set again.
Del Carlo in motion, and he gets the football. Haven't called his name yet tonight, but he picks up a big first down.
So essentially, Atascadero is creating a situation where they have an extra man to that side. And I think South needs to start recognizing that and at least rolling the defense a little bit that direction.
So Lucas Del Carlo, another name to mention. First carry of the night, and it's a big first down. Clock continues to tick. We're below 3 minutes. The Greyhounds, can they get in for the 4th time in the first half and distance themselves from the Spartans? Can the Spartans say no? Boom! Big fit. Fumble! Ball's on the ground.
Well, they're calling it incomplete.
Ooh.
So we got Beto again that's separating the receiver from the ball.
And
I think that was the right call.
Okay. It took a little longer for them to get the incomplete call out, so I didn't. I said it was. I thought it was jarred loose, and coaching staff got a confirmation. Great officiating job over there. They came in and said, nope, incomplete right away. They jumped on it.
One of the things I really like that Atascadero does, they put the receivers out really wide, which forces the contained guys for South to either play wide or in tight. If they play wide, you run the ball. If they play in tight, you hit them with those slants or bubbles and things like that.
Radican and Watkins going at it. Oh, movement there, and Radican did not hear the count or didn't see it or just jumped up. So the senior, Zachary Radican.
Typically, wide receivers are taught not to listen to the count, to watch for the ball to be snapped.
If our good friend Brian Adams was up here tonight, we'd all be blessed with a 30-second tutorial. Okay, I'll say it's a tutorial on that can never happen. I remember calling all those games with B. Adams, and if a wide receiver ever jumped, we just went like this and gave it to him, gave the mic to him.
Pet peeve.
Oh, yeah. Well, 2:34. Spartans shifting things around the defensive front. Here they come again. They're coming at him. Trejo wants to throw it up. Oh, goodness, he's got a man open, and it is caught. What a catch. What a catch. 2 men, 2 Spartans on him, and 2 great Spartans were on him. Gonzalez and Beto de Haro were on him. But Tenhoff pays attention, focuses, concentrates, and brings down a huge, huge reception for the Greyhounds. That's big time.
Yeah, that's a big-time contested grab on one of those 50-50 balls.
And they get right up on the line of scrimmage. Nobody's waiting. Trejo wants a quick snap. They get it, and who do they give it to? Of course, they give it to Mitchell. Mitchell plows ahead. Mitchell, could this be his 4th touchdown in the half? It is. Touchdown. I hear whistles, but I'm seeing no flags, or is there? There'll be a pause here. Holding on the offense.
Oh, I see the flag just
there
at
it
the
is.
21-yard line.
Flagged at the 21-yard line, and Coach Loney not pleased because he knows it's got to be a receiver that did it. Or somebody out here on the flats.
Just under 2 minutes to go here. Does take you a little bit off schedule, but the Greyhounds have shown that they can throw the ball a little bit too when need be.
No huddle offense. They go to the line of scrimmage from the penalty. Mitchell on the left hip of Trejo. He's got one receiver split on both sides. Low snap. Mitchell just go ahead and grabs it. And what's happening here? So whistles blew. It's a false start for the Greyhounds.
I don't think wide receiver Jacob Perry was ever actually set. And I think that's what they're calling there. He had, didn't realize the ball had been marked back so far, and then was still getting back into his spot, into his comfort zone when they snapped it.
Coach Loney's seen enough. He's seen enough discombobulation on what he believes to be is a very, very important minute and 52 here. They want to get in and put some distance in between them. So your overall thoughts so far on this pretty fun first half?
Yeah, really fun first half. Very impressed with both offenses and, just attacking each other, making big plays, kids playing hard, getting some – I love big boys up front that get after it, and both of these sides are doing that right now. So.
And, the one play, it was 3rd and 1, and Spartans bobbled it, backed them up to a 4th and 4. Greyhounds all over it, swallow it up, no gain. They give the ball up. Greyhounds go score very quickly, and we're thinking, uh-oh. South's really got to dig in. Then on a really long 3rd and 18 or something like that, a strike for a big rebound touchdown. But the 2-point conversion fails again, so it's 21-12 right now. A lot of football left. Spartans will get the ball to start off the 3rd quarter, but it's a 1st and 21. Atascadero can still pick up a 1st down if they get it to the 7-yard line. And Coach Loney and his Greyhound coaching staff, after a couple of penalties right in a row, not pleased, so he calls a timeout. Say, let's get our wits about us. Trejo, high snap, keeps it himself, good play, and he's speedy, makes a nice move there, and finally wrapped up and kept in bounds by Colby Cooper. Good tackle, didn't let him get out of bounds.
Yeah, he broke Beto's tackle, who came up really strong. And again, shows that wrestler in him, got that dog. But then the corner made a really good tackle there to save a touchdown.
Sorry, Zakai Watkins. Sorry, I gave you the Greyhound number 12. Jersey 12 for the Spartans, Zakai Watkins. Big tackle there by the Z-Man. They're going to go on the ground again. Going to try to get outside, and he cuts up hard, a big cut, and he's going to get close to the 1st down, brought down at the 10-yard line. Well, I'll tell you what, Damon Mitchell's so patient as a runner. He just waits, and he's so big, too, that he just takes his time getting out there. And I'll tell you what, Coach, that's a young man. I'd like to know where he's going next year.
Yeah.
6'2", 180, and he's just savvy running back. QB's going to keep it, and looks like he's going to pick up the 1st down. He does. So
we got 50 seconds left. The clock stops on that 1st down, but it will restart when they set the chain. So Atascadero hustling up. Oh, it's already reset.
1st and goal from the 5. They give it to the big guy. Can he get in? They can't stop him, can they? Do they? They do. They get him down. And Coach Loney's got 2 timeouts, so calls one of them right there with 23 seconds.
That's why it's so important early in the season here that you don't waste timeouts early on for, non-essential things or for some kind of, somebody forgets to go in on the punt team. Having these timeouts at the end gives Atascadero a real advantage down here.
They have 1 left, 23 seconds left in the half. So if you're the Spartans, you have to believe you can stop them. We've seen all these options that the Greyhounds have. So sure, conventional wisdom is, can they get 3 yards in 2 plays? Probably, especially with a timeout. But the Spartans have to dig in and say, hey, look, we can stop them. We got to do it.
Well, if I'm the Spartans, I don't know if I could stop them playing just a regular defense. I think I would just totally gamble that they're going to run the ball. I'd blitz both corners off the edges. If you throw it, okay, you got me. But, try to prevent that run game and try and double stuff every gap. I'd be shocked if Atascadero threw the ball here.
I don't see that happening either, Coach.
So why cover the guy? Come off that edge as soon as the ball is snapped, and if they run a sweep, you run smack into it. But I think they're going to go right between the tackles here.
Everybody's packed in tight except for a couple of receivers. Trejo, high snap, has to go up and get it for a second. Touchdown, Greyhounds. So the offensive line did a nice job there for the Greyhounds, and with 14 seconds left, Atascadero.
That's a really big touchdown for the Greyhounds.
And a 4-touchdown night so far for Damon Mitchell in the 1st half.
Again, the big extra point here because this will put them up 16.
Tyson Tenhoff, also a dangerous receiver. There's a nice snap. There's a nice kick. And as Coach mentioned, a perfect 28. So they've scored 4 times And it's been the same jersey crossing the goal line with the football all 4 times. Number 24, Damon Mitchell. That offensive line has done a great job. Mike Trejo, the quarterback's been as dangerous as he needs to be, either as a decoy or the actual ball carrier himself. He's also thrown a couple nice strikes. And from the Spartan standpoint, they're hanging in there. Just a couple of tough plays here and there.
Right, and when you're an offense that depends on running the ball, and chewing up clock, and it's doubly important that you take care of that football and don't waste downs with bad snaps or missed handoffs, and that's hurt the Spartans twice now already. Now, if I'm the Greyhounds, I'm going to make sure on this kickoff that I'm going to squib it or something. Don't let South High get a big return here.
Well, it's going to be Mitchell doing the honors, and it's a funky bounce. Bobbled and picked up by Gonzalez. Oh, to your point, Coach. Gonzalez gets knocked out of bounds at the 37-yard line, so 3 seconds left. But, oof.
Slow getting up down there.
Yeah, he fell down kind of awkward, Coach. He landed on his backside, and his neck was still straight up. So with 2 seconds here, it was he got tackled kind of sitting down, you know what I mean? Team doctor coming over to take a look, and it looks like he's going to get up. Oh, that's good news. Good news for everybody to see David Gonzalez get up. That's good. So with 2 seconds left, DeHaro is going to take a snap, probably go down on a knee, and that'll do it for the half. And we're going to have the South High Rebel Marching Band and Color Guard out for a halftime show. And that will do it for the half. 28-12 for your first half of football. Exciting, good game, a lot of offense, that's for sure. And when we come back in the third quarter, we'll start it right up again on the Kern High Network. Enjoy the halftime show.
Take cash, direct deposit, or check. I think a pony is a smart investment.
My rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Is my weekly allowance up for a negotiation?
I'm also open to a salary position. Take cash, direct deposit, or check.
I think a pony is a smart investment.
My rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Is my weekly allowance up for a negotiation?
I'm also open to a salary position.
And now, for your halftime entertainment, please welcome the South High School Spartan Regiment to the field as they present their 2025 show, Balance. We hope you enjoy.
I am heading down to Michigan to play golf with my son Noah and Tim Cooper, my buddy, and then going to dinner with all my daughters. Well, Ava's in Switzerland, but I'm going to play golf and then go to dinner and have a little Orange County time. And then Sunday, go to Club Laguna Beach and kicking around the sand for a bit. Pretty good weekend. Well, my birthday is the 23rd, September 23rd, on the 60th. And Sophia, she'll be out of town. Ava's gone though. Maria, my oldest, doesn't think she'll be up here for it either. She would if we planned something, but I said don't plan anything, don't spend any money. So.
Remember to create personal time to rejuvenate your spirit.
Played soccer with my daughter Katie.
I was watching the beginning of it at the gym because I work out. I know. And I watched the beginning of it, and it's anybody's game. Colorado came back at the half and put a couple touchdowns to make it. I think it was 16-14 at halftime. That Houston quarterback got God, man.
I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if Dion didn't have what he has around him. His the expectations are really high. I mean, so them losing, yeah, that's just.
New Mexico 14, UCLA 7.
I was just telling the dude right here. I said UCLA is going to have a rough time in the Big Ten this year. They're going to.
My daughter's a UCLA grad, and she is.
Well, wait a minute, New Mexico State, right? You just said?
Just New Mexico.
New Mexico.
The Lobos. They already have a big win.
New Mexico State beat somebody last year. Good team.
They played Michigan. Right. They beat Idaho State. The Michigan game was 34-17. So K-State and Arizona tied at 17. U of A? Yeah.
For your Spartan Regiment.
So, my rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Oh, is it?
Blame the economy. So, my rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Oh, is it?
Blame the economy. So, my rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Oh, is it?
Blame the economy. So, my rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Oh, is it?
Blame the economy. So, my rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Oh, is it?
Blame the economy.
Tennis at East with JV at home. And finally, next Friday, football here at Southside Spartan Stadium versus Chavez.
Go through this
See you there.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, great halftime. Enjoyed it. Rich and I get a chance to catch up. Julian put some highlights together that'll be on the social from the first half. And we got to enjoy the South High Spartan Marching Band and Color Guard. Nice Friday night here. And I keep trying to say it's autumn. It's not. The first day of autumn will be September 23rd. And with this weather starting to wane a little bit, it just feels fantastic. 28-12 is the score. And the Greyhounds will put it up, and it'll be returned by the Spartans. Can they get some good field position here? Uh-oh. And it looks like the Spartans are going to be behind the 20. Michael Wilson unable to find a seam to get rolling here. Overall thoughts on the first half, Coach?
Well, really fun first half to watch. Both offenses basically had their will with things, but South High made a couple mistakes that hurt them in some crucial situations, which is why they're losing right now.
And the Greyhounds scored on every drive. And Damon Mitchell, jersey 24, scored all 4 of the touchdowns.
Yeah, you see Damon out there playing outside linebacker for the Greyhounds at the top of the screen.
First and 10. Spartans, they stay on the ground too. Nice job, good run there by Rodney Williams. We saw a lot of that in the first half, and some of the runs were past 10 yards. This one is a 9-yarder.
Yeah, great gain on first down. We also seen them go heavy to the right side behind their 2 huge offensive linemen, Jenkins and Butterbaugh. And you know what? It's a little predictable, but it's okay to be predictable as long as you know you're predictable. And if it's working, keep doing it.
That big offensive front up there for the Spartans. They could wreak havoc in their league. Right up the middle. What a strong run by Rodney Williams. And we've mentioned it before. We'll mention it again. And it's more just from a factual base to be amazed at sophomore at 5'5", 140 pounds.
Fearless.
You put it all together. Let's say you're a senior at 5'5", 140. All right, you're taking a lot of hits, you're taking a lot of licks, you've learned a lot of lessons, you've got some street cred because you've been in the trenches for so long. But a sophomore at that size who attacks the line of scrimmage, boy, great things ahead for this young man.
Yeah, he's not just a scat back outside runner. He's definitely willing to run inside behind his big boys.
Jersey 23, Rodney Williams. They go to the air. They let it fly. It's put up there. And how about this? A flag on the play. Doesn't matter. What an incredible catch. 2 Greyhounds all over the top of him. And he still makes the catch. We believe, presume that it's going to be a flag on the defense. But what a catch. And another great throw by DeHaro, right on the money, Rich.
Yeah, that was Michael Wilson, I believe. He's still down there. I haven't seen the number, but sure looked like the type of play that he makes. Hopefully it's just a matter of him catching his breath here.
He might have fallen on the football, you're right, because he does have a touchdown for the Spartans, as does Brandon Burrell. And it is Michael Wilson Jr.
With reception, who's now getting up and walking off. Michael Wilson.
Our man Joey below us said, we hope he just had the wind knocked out of him. He said, nice job, Michael. Boy, you got to love that in a PA announcer that's so comfortable and so well known. His voice is synonymous with South High School. So when you have an announcer like that knows everybody and everybody knows him, good feel. So big first down, Coach, exactly what the doctor ordered for South.
Well, South showing that they run the ball awful well, but have the ability to throw the ball. And, coming in, Beto was only completing 31% of his passes, but he's been on target tonight.
1st and 10. Can't get through there. They tried. They had a lead blocker come through on the fake handoff, but just some great penetration up there. Again, one of the big guys up there is Patrick Moreci. Last name is M-O-R-E-C-I, so Moreci or Morrissey. To that family, I apologize ahead of time, but Jersey 64 is a force.
Yeah, just watching South High and, Davian Jenkins, we've highlighted him several times. Notice as from a coaching standpoint, when he gets in a three-point stance, he's coming straight off. If it's a two-point, they're either throwing the ball or he's sliding left. So see if that holds true here.
Okay, Coach, you've got Burrell behind him.
Slid left there.
He cuts upfield and just takes on a linebacker. Wow, DeHaro drops the helmet and says, let's get it on. Boy, that's a big play because he went right at Jersey 44, and that is Xavier Cano.
Huge play here early in the third quarter. South High needs to keep this drive alive, and Atascadero's got to stop them. A good stop here with what Atascadero's been doing, and you might be able to put the game away.
Will it be two-down territory?
I definitely think it will be. Though they do need to make up the extra point.
A keeper. DeHaro. And he hits his own
man.
guy. Just an unfortunate situation. He ran into Eric Gaitan, and he hits Gaitan, or he would have had it. I think he would have had it. He has enough speed and enough skill set to get to that marker, but
that's what makes football so great. You got a good game like this, and it's just the little things here, and you just think if we would have just got that play or that play, we'd have been all right. But here we got 4th and 4. Might be a good chance for a hard count, maybe get a free one. But this Atascadero team seems to be very disciplined. They haven't had too many penalties.
Boy, play's taking a while to come in. And you said a couple muffed snaps, and getting close here on the play call here.
Yeah, I'd be really nervous if I'm Kerry Mills. I'm watching that back judge to see if he starts moving that hand.
And he does.
I don't know if they're going to get it off.
Ooh, they just do. DeHaro throws, and it's overthrown and nearly picked off. Should have been picked off, but actually they're going to get the ball on a 1st and 10 up at the 23-yard line. So the first pass, it wasn't on target, but it's a costly one. And with 8:44 left here in the third, it's going to be Greyhounds' time to just start grinding out some yardage. I almost think they maybe could have just called a timeout and made sure everybody's on the same page here. It's a big play. It's an important play, and because I see that DeHaro is coming back over the side, or he stays out there because he plays both ways, but he was coming over to talk to the coaching, and they were kind of not sure on some things. But
that brings up a good point. When your quarterback's going both ways, you don't really get to have him on the sideline to talk over the last series.
RPO. Nice
good
hit.
Tackle.
Who else made it? DeHaro, the quarterback.
He's a good football player.
Beto DeHaro. And, you talk about that fact. You can't discuss the last series, but also here's a quarterback that's trying to process that whole series that just stalled. Now he's got to go make big hits on the other quarterback who's breaking away for big gains. It's a grind.
Well, you see, he lines up, 10 to 12 yards off the football, but makes the tackle after just a 3-yard gain. That's a pretty good secondary play.
They hand off to Del Carlo, and nice play there. Really good tackle there. And again, Beto DeHaro. Amazing, Coach.
Boy, the heart of a lion.
Amazing. He was 20 yards deep and comes up to make the hit on Del Carlo, who was given the ball behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, 3rd and 6 may not be the best time to do it, but I would think after a first down, it'd be a great time for Atascadero to go play action where you hit a guy on a post and hope that safety bites up on the run like he's been doing so hard.
You got a triple package down here in the bottom of the screen. Trejo looks that direction, flushed out of the pocket, lets it fly, has a man, and it's broken up. No flags anywhere. And Jacob Perry, a little upset. I think he felt like, hey, throw it up there and I'll get it, but he didn't.
Yeah, Jacob Perry's a tall guy, 6'3", 170 pounds, and that ball hadn't been slightly behind him, I think he would have had a better chance at getting it.
7:27 in the third quarter. We see our first punt of the evening.
What is this formation?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening here. And do all the teams have all the players? This is when you see teams. 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Good snap. That's the first part. High punt. It's going to be fumbled. Oh, my gosh.
When punting that ball was Damon Mitchell. So he does kickoffs, he does punts, he plays outside linebacker, and he runs the ball like
old
Eric
school
Dickerson.
Football, isn't it? It's old school on both sides of the ball, but David Gonzalez made us nervous there.
Fortunate break for the Spartans to get that one back.
Hey, they held him. Here we go.
Yeah, great stop by the defense. Good adjustments at halftime by the South High staff.
Boy, you got to love you some Kerry Mills, you know. I love what he does, love how he coaches and handles his guys. And I remember last year we were at the Foothill game. It was South at Foothill, and they hung on to that. Remember that coach, the first half, Foothill couldn't get anything going. They had like 8 straight drives that they fumbled and this and that. Well, then Coach Weedle goes in at halftime. They come out. They're firing on all cylinders. South hangs on for the win. And he was just a great interview, and he says, hey, we got to go. The bus driver is like out of hours, and we got to get out of here. I said, okay, Kerry, hit the road.
He's a class act.
I love him. High snap. Ooh, tough hits there. That's a good job by that Greyhound defense. They came in there, and the last hit we'll give to Wyatt Litton. There's some other guys that did it, but Wyatt was in there at the end. And
yeah, and these Greyhounds, man, you know, South High's run the ball at them very hard, but the Greyhounds are sticking it in there every single time. And, you know, if you look size-wise, they're not extremely big up front defensively. But they keep working and playing good gap, solid defense. They're going to be all right.
Now Damon Mitchell, their superstars over here on the left side of the defense, right down in front of us at about the 44-yard line. You've got Rodney Williams in the backfield next to DeHaro. DeHaro gives it to Williams. Williams looking for a seam, ran out of space there. It collapsed pretty quickly. Gets 2 or 3 yards, and it's going to be, I think it'll be 3rd and a long 5. 3rd and, 6. It does look like 6. So a couple of big third downs we've experienced here in the third quarter for both teams.
Yeah, and I think part of the issue is South High's running on some fumes there up front.
Well, yeah. You know, hopefully this weather that we're experiencing just kind of stays in this pattern, and it just kind of slowly settles into this vibe right here for the next month, and get these guys from working out in 100-degree weather. Build up some stamina. 3rd and 6. DeHaro rolls to his right. Looking for some time, throws, and it's broken up. What a nice play. A good play there by Jacob Perry. Ooh, that was almost a great play.
Yeah, and Jacob Perry has come into this game and second on the team in tackles. We see he's their top receiver. He's a matchup problem.
How about this? We go from no punts to back-to-back punts. That tells me the defenses are making good adjustments.
Yes, they are. 2 good coaching staffs here.
Brian Leyva, the strong-legged kicker, will also be back to punt. So we see a Spartan punt team on for the first time, and the Greyhounds return team. Would we ever see a fake punt at this stage of the third quarter? Awfully quiet.
If you don't think your defense can stop them, that's usually when you want to fake it.
Oh, goodness. And the flag comes out. They rough the punter. So this will be, big hit there. There's bodies flying everywhere and a flag at the end. And I don't know what the second flag was, but I do know what the first one was. They roughed the kicker. And who was it that did it? Damon Mitchell. He goes, hey, guys, I can't have an absolutely perfect game. Come on now.
It threw off his, the block point when the ball came in low and bobbled over there. And so I think that ended up working out in South High's favor.
So the second flag may have been on a Spartan. I don't know. Let's hear from the white hat, Joe Saldivar, one of the best.
He's been around for a long time and has always done a good job.
So it is a face mask.
Oh, boy. So offsetting penalties there.
Oh, wow.
So they're gonna replay the down, I'm guessing. So a bad break there for the Spartans to get the face mask at the end of it.
In my naivety, I thought that the blocked, the roughing the kicker.
Well, I think because they were both in-play penalties.
Yep. You're right, exactly right. You're exactly right. Game was live when it happened. There's the call again by, yep. So they'll try it again. What would have been a huge break for the Spartans is really just a reboot. We do it again. Another low snap, not bad. Oh, it's a good punt. It's going to take a wobbly, crazy bounce, and it does. It gets by the Greyhounds. That's a good one. Nice one. Oh, how about this? Beneath the 10.
Boy, not the most technical punt I've ever seen, but certainly a good result.
Hey. You could see when it left his foot, something funky's going to happen, and it did. It just took a wild bounce. So, if anything, the Greyhounds are pinned back behind the 10-yard line, as the Spartan defense will go out and say, all right, we've got to stamp our coach. They've got to stamp their name on this defensive possession right here.
And for the counterpoint, Atascadero, I'm sure they get into the mind of the offensive lineman saying, hey, you dominated the first half of this game for us. You saw what happened. We need you to do it a couple more times here, starting now. I mean, there's some major beef up the front there for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, they do. They have a big package in there now. Trejo scoots outside, looking to make a break, and he's finally met by who else? The other quarterback, the DB, Beto De Haro.
Beto's going to have 20 tackles tonight. I mean, impressive athlete. Good job blocking up front there by the Greyhounds. Again, that offensive line, Rodriguez, Gonzalez, Sandoval, Moda, King. Sandoval's just a sophomore, but they got high praise for him. He's their left guard.
Mitchell doesn't get much. Again, everybody, I want to remind you about the Kern County Officials Association, kcoa.com.org. We know you can help. We know you can get involved. I've spoken to these gentlemen many, many times throughout the seasons, and Rich, what they've told me is, Vance, yeah, we want people for the long haul. We want people to understand this is a great fraternity and sorority. We have volleyball officials, basketball officials, football. This is, a long-term commitment, we hope. Yeah, you want to do it 1 year and check it out and find out, but we hope you join for a long time to get to know us. We get to know you, and we build up a family here. So Kern County Officials Association, flag on the play. It's drug out, and it's right there in between the hash marks. So we'll see what that is. But I know your appreciation for the officials and the commitment and the time that it takes to be involved. But, boy, does it keep the wheels moving here.
Well, and they'll give you as much work as you want to have. And
yeah.
What's better than making money while watching football?
And helping out our youth. And there's always, the parent factor. I'll be very honest, very blunt when I have these discussions. It's not lost on me or anybody else that the parent factor of always getting chewed out by the parents and all. We get all that. That's a reality, and it's in every country and it's every city in the world. But the bottom line is you want to be a part of it. You want to be involved in it. And as I mentioned, when I speak to these guys, I was witness to them a couple weeks ago after a game. I went and sat down and had some dinner, and they all just got together, had a huge corner. They were talking, going through the plays, watching Greg Kerr, watching Hometown Sports and all the highlights, and they're all sitting there talking, and it was great. And I walked by, and we said hi and talked to them. What game did you have, Vance? I said, I had this game. I had these guys. Oh, hey. And what it dawned on me, Rich, is this great group of guys, and some of these guys are great former players. A couple of guys, I won't bring up their names, but these guys have great football careers recently. These aren't old guys, and they're in there. They want to get back in the move. So I guess this is my big plug for KCOA. Get involved. Be a part of it. Go on the website. Send in your information. They're working on building up the site even more and building bios for all the officials to kind of let everybody know the caliber of who they have. So I'm a big believer in it, and I'm very, very, very appreciative of all these officials.
Well, it becomes, like you said, a very nice fraternity where you have this brotherhood of guys working together and having each other's backs. And, you know, they do a good job. This has been a really well officiated game here.
Very good. Okay. Good to know that Greyhound is up and moving around. Got banged up a little bit. It was Colby Cooper, so good to know he's up. 4:38, 2nd and 13. Trejo wants to throw, throws off his foot. Caught. What a big hit. Really nice hit up there. So good catch, good hit.
Yeah, Trejo delivered that ball just a little bit late there, but it was a nice pass. Good tackle there by the Spartans. 3rd and 9. You know, this is something we didn't see very often in the first half, was these long yardage situations.
Zakai Watkins with the big hit. Couple of big hits tonight for the junior. 3rd and 9, as Coach just mentioned. We have possibility of 2 punts in a row from the Greyhounds, but we'll see. Damon Mitchell, the 4 TD man, is on the right hip of Trejo. Trejo takes the snap, looks to throw, whistles fly, and they're going to say false start on one of the Greyhounds. He leaned in and started moving. I saw the line judge kind of give the body motion of what happened.
The Greyhounds a little sloppier this half than what we saw in the first half offensively. And it showed in their production.
Hey, you're right. So now, well, that's a costly 5-yarder.
Well, they took Jacob Perry off the field. Again, he's their top receiver. And on the 3rd and 15, we saw a swing route to Damon Mitchell for a touchdown earlier. I wonder if they got something else. He stays into block.
Throws out there and finds a man. Oh, it's going to be a first down and maybe more. So a big hit, but a connection to Jacob Perry across the middle. What a toss by Mike Trejo. And I thought that Zakai Watkins was going to light him up. Contact, boom, on the catch, but it didn't happen. And with a 3rd and 14, an answer from the Greyhounds.
Well, that's my bad there. I thought Jacob Perry had gone off the field. It was somebody else.
It was Colby Cooper that went off.
Okay, shows you how bad my eyesight is. But they found their main guy, which is, you know, again, on those 3rd and long situations, typically in high school football, you got your guy. And as a defense, you got to make sure that that guy is covered and has safety rolled over to him.
Now you look for the Greyhounds to stay on the ground here. Big hit, big contact. You know, the Greyhounds have big number 6, Isaac Mosqueda, the tight end over here, jersey 6. You can see the big guy right here. They pulled him on the left side of the line now, and he's big force.
Yeah, that looks like a big, strong dude right there. Well, everybody up front, obviously, they got a weight room in there. I was watching on Facebook some of Coach Loney's shows there that they do, and he was doing them from inside the weight room. So that's a place of big importance for them.
Oh, yeah. It'll be 2nd and 2 now. 2nd and 1. Speaking of Coach Loney, I went up, introduced myself to him, and I said, "Hey, I'm Vance. We do the live stream." He goes, "Oh, I know who you are. We watch you. So it's great to know. I mean, they're in the same stratosphere as the Spartans. They're in
the central section
right,
now, yeah.
Right. So he's watching everything, but I rarely do I hear a out-of-town coach say that he knows who we are at the Current 9 Network. But
boy, look at this setup. They only have one guy on to the left of the center.
The line of scrimmage looks.
Now they slide the tight end over, so that's, again, one of these heavy sets.
2nd and 2. Trejo gets free for a moment. He's still up. Goes down at the 30-yard line.
Boy, nice run. Again, it's interesting. Run those heavy sets. By having your tight end play next to your guard, you force that defensive back to stay over there because you got to cover that guy because he's eligible. If it was just a tackle, then you could forget about him completely. So good job scheming things up here by the Greyhounds. Same set here. Notice the tight end, number 6, is right next to the left guard.
Minute left in the 3rd quarter. Trejo going to keep it the entire time, looking patiently, and runs into a wall of Spartans, and the first one to get to him is Kane Baez. And Burrell was there, as well as Keontae Holmes. So no rush here for Coach Loney.
Yeah, they'd love to take 30 seconds between every snap here at the least.
They're going to have to snap one. Again, it's Trejo. And he gets stopped at about maybe the 20. And tough young man here. And
I think that's going to be enough for a first down. Yep, they're going to move the chains.
So they'll finish the quarter with that play and move back down here to the south side of the field. 28-12. We're enjoying this game. Sure hope you are on the Kern High Network. We'll be back with 4th quarter.
Hey, Dad! Is my weekly allowance up for a negotiation?
No, not really.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll talk about this later. Hey, Dad! Is my weekly allowance up for a negotiation?
No, not really.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll talk about this later.
Start of the 4th quarter. And Trejo takes a snap on a 1st and 10. Mitchell looking for some room, and they're trying to strip the ball out. Tough going there. And the 5th touchdown.
There is a flag down.
Flag on the play, and it's going to be a hold. And so that'll come back. So can you imagine if these penalties weren't racked up? I think that would be 6 touchdowns for him. 2 called back. Wow.
He's a good, tough runner. I do worry about his ball security there a little bit. But
well, they tried. They tried to strip
every
him.
Yard.
The band director's got his own microphone and sound system and speaker. He talks to his musicians. He's like, why do I have to yell and lose my voice? Okay, now it brings it to a 1st and 20. Trejo. And the Spartans aren't ready on defense. They were not set up right on that left side. And, oh, man, had it not been for a great play by Brandon Burrell, that could have been disastrous. They were not set, the Spartans. And Trejo went there that direction, but Brandon Burrell saved a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play. And sometimes when you're all screwed up, it screws up the offense because they had 4 linemen on that side of the ball, plenty of people to block,
Right.
but South High was still moving around, and they couldn't figure out which guy was theirs.
for the Greyhounds.
Brandon Burrell came into this game as the leading tackler, but I got to think he's been overtaken by Beto de Haro.
By the quarterback.
Yeah.
Play, oh, he's got a man open, wide open, and it's a touchdown. And that is a score, and Zakai Watkins lost his man, and that's Jacob Perry.
Yeah, he definitely got lost on that play, and Jacob Perry's not a guy you want to lose track of, that's for sure.
Well, somebody finally scored other than Damon Mitchell. Damon's like, wait a second, man, I had that call back. And now it's all Greyhounds. They've blown the door wide open.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for South to come back here. Likely down 3 scores, and that's with making a bunch of 2-point conversions.
We'll be down 23 if this goes through. Hey, blocked by the big guy.
I'm pretty sure he was offside.
Davion Jenkins. No flags, Rich. No flags. The big guy.
He had one more in the tank.
He gets a stat that. Oh, the guys are loving it.
Pretty quick for a big fella. Been going both ways the whole night.
The guys are loving it. Coaches and players dapping him up, man. The big guy with a block. We'll take a short break and be right back after this on the Current 9 Network. So a score by the Greyhounds, but a blocked PAT, and now here's an opportunity for Tingling. Uriah Tingling runs into traffic.
All right, this situation, 11:08 to play, South High. Really good running team, but put in a situation where they're going to need multiple scores pretty fast. They're going to have their work cut out for them. This Greyhound defense has played quite a bit better this second half. Controlled the line of scrimmage way better than the first half, where they were pushed around pretty good.
Okay, set up by Coach Cornford. Here come the Spartans. DeHaro. Boy, so speedy Williams is. Gets tackled at the very end of the play, but a really nice run there. A good tackle there by Cooper. Big first down, Coach.
Nice job bouncing the ball outside. He's, like I said, a good inside runner when he needs to be, but when everything's plugged up, he doesn't just stick his nose in what we'd call a dirty window. Bounced it out, gained about 20.
What's that saying?
Well, you know, if the hole is closed, we call it a dirty window. It's the same idea as a linebacker. You don't want to stick your nose in a dirty window. You find the next window that's open.
Love it. Love it.
Kind of a weird term, but wow. I guess.
You caught my ears. I rarely listen to what you say, and I caught my ears.
It makes sense, though, doesn't it?
It does. By the way, you said your vision's really bad, but you said I look great tonight. So I don't know. How do I take that, Julian? When somebody says you look really good tonight, but then later on in the broadcast he says my vision's really bad, but he told me I look great.
Yeah,
it's like, man, you got a great voice. I can't really hear, but it's
but if I could.
Julian, thank you for supporting me. Always. So, it is a sideline violation. The official tripped on.
Ooh, that took a pretty good chunk out of that play.
A coach. So that is an uncomfortable, awkward moment in the coach's room later. A big first down is called back, but it's first down again. This time the young man could not get away from the dirty window.
There was a pile of greyhounds there. So, gained it 3.5 to 4 yards there. So he took advantage of the initial push.
2nd and 6. He did get a few, Coach. Next week, our In the Huddle, our wildly successful In the Huddle show, where we go to a high school campus on game day. And by the way, Kenny Calvin and Robert Chavez are calling the game over at Foothill tonight. Foothill-Delano game. They're calling that game, and Coach and I are here. But more news on what we're doing next week in just a moment. Pretty exciting stuff. We're going to dip below 10 minutes right now. DeHaro, quick toss out to the right side, and it goes through the fingertips of Uriah Tingling. Tingling's got to make that catch. Next week, In the Huddle, for the first time ever, leaving the comfy, cozy confines of Bakersfield. We're winding up into the valley, into the canyon. Kern Valley High School.
One of my favorite spots to watch a football game.
In the Huddle will be at Kern Valley High School, and the Bronx will be hosting Miramonte in what's now become one of the great rivalries here in Kern County. And next year, Kern Valley will be here in the City Leagues. So it's going to be a great, great show at Kern Valley next Friday. That's In the Huddle.
My former quarterback, Evan Moore, is an assistant coach out there.
Yep.
So
It's going to be a great time. But to add to that news, the Director of School Support Services, Stan Green, already has a team up there that's going to call that live stream. And Rich Cornford and myself will be at Liberty High School next Friday night. So we're doing the Huddle up there, but I'm coming back into town, and we'll be doing Liberty hosting Central. And as we speak, Coach, Liberty's 0-5, and they're going to be going up against, 0-4, and they're going to be going up against one of the better teams in the Central section at home against Central. So tough sledding right now for the Patriots, and next Friday night, the game we cover, not going to get any easier.
No, and Richie Bolin over there is a heck of a good football coach. And I've been there where you've got good teams and you schedule other really good teams, and, man, sometimes it doesn't go your way.
Well, with 9:42 in the fourth quarter, it's Atascadero up 34-12. The injured player taken off the sidelines for the Spartans, and 4th down and short. They're going to go for it.
I bet they run right.
DeHaro. They give it to the big guy, Burrell, and he gets through. 1st down, Rebels.
All right, they ran left.
Oh, I owe you $1. I said it.
Oh, you did say it. Right with that giant Spartan logo that they're on top of.
And it's me, the word policeman.
They ran that play, folded Mike Butterbaugh around. Got another good push up front there. Good 1st down for the Rebels. Oh, no, now I did it.
Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, offsetting, neither of us owe $1. Unless Julian really wants to collect. 1st and 10. Ball at their own 45, 8.5 remaining here. Burrell again gets to the outside, cuts up. Try to strip him, can't get him. 7 strong, positive yards.
Yeah, this South High running attack, with the 2 running backs, Burrell, big, thick kid. Rodney Williams, quick as lightning. Good quarterback athlete, Beto DeHaro. And a strong offensive line. I think we're going to see some good things out of South High over the rest of the year here.
Under 8 to go. Oh, nice strong run right up the right side on the hash mark. He just basically went up the hash mark.
Yeah, this is very good physical offense here. Just a matter of them pacing themselves in a way that they can find some way to rest the big guys a little bit. But they're a tough matchup for most any school they're going to face from here on out. So first and 10 inside the 40-yard line. Just over 7 minutes to play.
DeHaro, again Burrell. Burrell, flag on the play. And another Spartan down at the 30-yard line.
And I'm guessing that's Davion Jenkins, the big tackle.
It is the big fella. And boy, you just want to hope it's only fatigue, and I say that seriously, only fatigue. And there's the big guy, he's up, and everybody with a big sigh of relief, and oof. That is one very vital piece to this Spartan puzzle.
And even then, he blocked a kick.
Yeah, right.
He just doesn't run down on kickoff.
I'm telling you, that guy and Butterbow were standing next to me and Coach Mills. And Coach Mills, not that tall. I'm 6'5". These dudes were eye to eye with me and way bigger. And they had their jerseys on. They barely fit over them without pads. And I'm thinking to myself, these guys are going to wreak some havoc during league play. 6'2", 301, jersey 75. Great young man. Very serious guy. Soft-spoken, serious dude. Okay, 1st and 20 now. High snap and movement on the Spartan line there. Yeah, they got a little antsy there. They knew it was a run play. They knew it was going to be a quarterback keeper, so everybody took off.
Yeah, 1st and
25. A 10-yarder and a 5-yarder, and it was 1st and 10. Long way to go. Just over 6 minutes to go. They give it to the speedy, shifty, very impressive Rodney Williams. This young man's really making some noise here at South High.
Yeah, just continuing to watch this South High offensive line work. Number 51, Giselle Cabrera, 5'9", 228. He's not the monster size-wise that these other guys are, but he's playing hard every snap, getting after people.
And a junior coach.
Yeah, and you know, Kerry was saying that they've got a pretty young team.
The quarterback's a junior.
Yeah, but again, these guys play hard. They play hard for each other. Their attitudes seem great. You know, the effort's been fantastic.
Octavio, Hometown Sports, have a great night. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you. 2nd and 21. They go to the air. A ton of time. Look out. Too much time. He had a lot of time, but then it broke down. Patrick Morrissey.
Yeah, and you could see it coming from this angle, but he had his eyes downfield, never saw the guy hit him, and did a good job just hanging on to the ball.
He had a lot of time, but just hung on too long. Now it'll be 3rd and 21. Ball's dab smack middle of the football field.
That's one of those things as a quarterback. As you get more advanced at it, you start throwing guys open instead of waiting for somebody to be open.
Gotcha, Coach.
Because he had the time there. He's got to get that ball out. Third and very long.
Yeah, 25 they say. Ball's on the 50. DeHaro takes a snap. He's going to throw. 3-man rush, steps right up into it and says, I got it. And makes a nice spin move and gets up to the 30. So they'll probably go for it.
Yeah, I really like that call there.
Yeah.
On 3rd and long. It's a situation. They don't throw the ball great, and in a pure passing situation, that's when you're likely to turn it over, get up another sack. So call a quarterback draw. Give yourself a chance here on 4th down of, I don't know, not as manageable as you'd like, but certainly better than 4th and 20.
And with that 3-man rush, at least he had 10 yards to work with, 12 yards to work with. But now, 4th and 12. 3 receivers down here to the bottom left of the screen, and Gonzalez up at the top. Williams in the backfield with him, quarterback DeHaro. Now it's a 4-man rush. Offensive line doing a job, has a man. Look out, everybody. And contact in the middle of the field. No flags, no flags. Broken up by the Greyhounds. And for all intents and purposes, now it's Coach Dan Loney's opportunity to grind down 349 and get on a bus home and head back to the coast, or just inside the coast. Yeah. Atascadero High School, pretty little spot in California.
Yeah, not bad. They play in the league with Paso Robles is typically their arch rival. San Luis High there. You know, San Luis High's got a lot better at football here these last few years. They've been a challenge for the Greyhounds. Again, the Greyhounds, one of the winningest schools in the last 50 years in California. A lot of CIF championships, a lot of history in their program. And they're trying to get it back to that point where they're playing for championships every single year like it was about 10 years ago.
New quarterback in for the Greyhounds and a new running back, so pays dividends pretty quickly, an 8-yard run. And the new quarterback is Cooper Knopf, spelled Knoph, so I'll take a stab that it's Cooper Knopf.
Always good early in the season when you can get your backup quarterback and a few other reserves in the games. You know, these kids practice hard, and a lot of them are one snap away from being called on. So it's good to get some snaps in and some film on them. And they deserve it, too. Football's a tough sport.
Yeah, a lot of clean white jerseys on the field right now for the Greyhounds. And the running back, Renato Lucio, just lost his footing.
So they're going to bring up 3rd and medium, 3rd and 4 here.
And how about jersey 78?
He's a big boy. What's it got for height and weight on him?
Henry Ventura, 6'4", 290. 78 right here. Look at this right tackle here. The junior, Henry Ventura, 6'4", 288 pounds. Little discombobulation there, but believe it or not, it turns out to be okay. It was a botched play. The handoff didn't happen, and Knopf just took off with it. So I got it. I got it, Coach. I'll get you a first down. Well, for South High School, they'll go to 1-3, and their future looks like Chavez, West, East, Miramonte, North, and Tehachapi. So they have Cesar Chavez, and then they go into league play here in the town. Roman Brown gets moved over to the left side in motion. 2:15 left here in the football game. Whoa. Bad snap, and he's going to have to jump on it, and he does. So Coach Loney has seen 3 quarters and 3.5 quarters some really good football from his football team, and more than anything, knowing his personality, it'll be this last 4 or 5 minutes to frustrate him.
But you need to get these snaps in because
I got you.
You know, you hate to see that happen. You don't want it to happen, but now you coach it up. You know that, hey, there's going to be a time when we need you, and we got to be able to rely on you to get the ball back there to the quarterback clean, which is why these times are so important to be able to play your guys.
Great point, Coach. 135 and counting. Another high snap, and really not the cleanest handoff. Again, fumble! Can they scoop and score? Can they scoop and score? Burrell might do it. He does. Oh, the Spartans finish with a flurry. So some discombobulation by the Greyhounds on their ball handling. And Brandon Burrell, happy for the young man because he's worked so hard tonight. Might as well scoop and score and get a little bit of some good vibes going. Touchdown, South.
Well, and I'm guessing we'll see the first team back in there for Atascadero the next time they're on offense.
As I said, and you so aptly noted that they do need to get some time, but there's also a point when Coach Loney says, all right, you had your chance, guys. Yes. You had your chance. I don't know that I'll see that many Atascadero parents tomorrow morning shopping here locally, so I'm risking it by making that comment. I don't mean to sound flippant, but I don't know that Coach Loney's going to put up with it.
No, and that is a community that is football hungry.
Sandoval, high snap here. Goodness gracious.
Well, South High knows what they need to work on.
Sure do.
Not a whole lot you can do with a snap like that. They are 16 down, so technically that is a 2-score game. I would, if I'm the Rebels, I'm doing an onside kick here.
Or the Spartans.
Gosh dang it.
Now you got to open your wallet. All right, so another thing they work on here, onside kick. Let's see what happens. So 34-18. Coach just mentioned 16-point deficit. The hands team coming up for the Greyhounds. I want to again thank our Kern County officials tonight. Joe Salvador in the white hat, Eric Smith, the umpire, Enrique Serrano, the head linesman, Daryl Thomas, the line judge, Rick Serrano, the back, and of course Jesse Ramirez in the box. Great job tonight, fellas. Just a superb job. Appreciate it. And hats off to both of these coaches and both of their programs. We've seen no extracurricular activity tonight. We've seen nothing of the sort. No nonsense. Play hard to the whistle and turn around, go to your side of the ball. It's been good stuff.
Well, teams are going to take on the personality of their coaches, and I think both sides have really high-quality human beings.
Love it, Coach. Here it is. Onside? No, they just hammer it. Oh, so no onside.
Reminder, students who brought in backpacks and have them locked need to pick them up as they exit the stadium.
All right, so that'll be first down at the 20-yard line. Another touchback by the South High Spartans.
And hats off to these Spartan cheerleaders. I think there was 32, 33 of them. They've just been phenomenal all night long. Just done a great job. And they got the student section down here below us. They've got their own boom box, and you got the Spartan marching band and color guard, and the band director's got his own sound system. This is a great, great atmosphere, and want to thank everybody at South High School for hosting us tonight. Also a special thank you to Stan Green and all the superintendents of the Kern High School District and our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union. Thank you. South High administration, goodness gracious, good as it gets. The principal, Brian Mendeburo. The AP of Instruction, Corey Raub. The AP of Administration, Tori Nettleton. And the two Deans of Student Behavior and Supports, Terrence Banks and Manuel Vasquez. The Athletics Director, our good friend Richard Maestre. And the Activities Director, Cecilia Polito. You have done an amazing job, the administration at South High. Congratulations. This has been a very, very fun night. And again, next Friday in the huddle, we'll be up the canyon at Kern Valley High School. The Bronx will be hosting Miramonte. And needless to say, I think we're going to be welcomed with a very, very warm reception up there for the huddle. I think that's going to be a really fun time. And then next Friday night, we'll have one of our games live streamed up there with another crew, and then Coach Cornford, you and I will be at Liberty High School to play a very, very tough Central team. And the Patriots still looking for that first win. It'll be an interesting dynamic over there at Liberty.
Yeah, I'm anxious to catch up with Richie Bolin and see how he's doing over there. You know, there's a lot of pressure on these coaches and their families. If you ever watch that SEC show, you know, on Netflix, it shows you. And obviously, high school football is not the SEC, but the families do go through quite a bit when times get tough, and you really do find out who your friends are.
Our Kern High Network player of the game is the South High Spartan quarterback and DB, Beto De Haro. Beto De Haro, jersey number 1. What a game. The quarterback led the team with tackles, so a stud. And your final thoughts on this football game tonight, Coach?
Well, I really enjoyed watching both teams. Their running games are both what I would deem spectacular. Good backs, really good blocking up front, quarterbacks that are capable. So anxious to see both teams as they go on this year and progress, because I think they got a lot to build on.
Julian, thank you for everything. As always, it's a pleasure. Appreciate it so much. On behalf of Rich Cornford and everybody at the Current High Network, we appreciate you being with us. Have a great weekend tonight. Atascadero comes into town, takes care of business, 34-18 over the South High Spartans, but our Kern High Network player of the game representing Kern County and South High School, Beto Jairo. Good night. God bless.